G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here once again on the brand new expansion. The new patch has just dropped. We're slowly working out where every single civilization belongs. Today we're on the map Hidden Valley. Spawning in on the north side of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Malians. We've got 3D Anatand. And on the south side of the map, in the color red, playing as Juicy's Legacy. It's Wham01. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. This content, if you're enjoying it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on the video because it really helps out with the traction. Let's get into it. We've got ourselves a fun map here, a map that is unforgiving in the way that it can play out. Often you neglect a side on this map, and as a result, it can be exploited by your opponent. I suspect they're probably going to be looking to fight towards the top side on this map just simply because of all the gold that is up here. Though realistically, when it comes to gold, I guess the Juicy Legacy doesn't really rely on gold a huge amount. Obviously, it's still important to them, and by the same token, the Malians. These civilizations have both got pretty decent passive gold generation incomes. Of course, we already begin to see for Anatand. He's got the pit mine down. However, on the other side of the map, you've got Wham, who will have that tax collection coming through pretty shortly. One thing to note, though, he is heavy on the deer out here. Now, he's only just transitioning out over onto the mining, or onto gold. So we're going to have to pay close attention, but I've got a sneaky suspicion he's going to need a lot of villagers out here. I'm talking like 4 or 5 villagers if he wants to try and keep parity with the food, because have a look at the food income. It's kind of crazy how quickly this will go up. Now, he does drop in a little bit of tax here. Looks like he might have a sheep out here as well. Yeah, there's sheep out here as well. Okay, that'll be fine then. He's only got the 2 villagers on the deer carcass, so that'll be absolutely okay. But today we're expecting a pretty decent matchup. Now, this is one of EGC TV's games from the EGC finals, so make sure you go and check them out. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch them live over on Twitch. Now, they're on 15 GMT on Saturday and Sunday. So for us, for me as an Australian, that's about 2 a.m. in the morning. That's when they begin. So it makes it a little bit difficult for me to watch, but you go over there, you go say hi for me, because it is non-stop action, non-stop content that's been coming out from them. So really, really good stuff. But slowly working towards those age ups, we see that is 3 gold short Wham is. On the other side of the map, we will have that landmark coming down. It is going to be the Mansa Quarry coming down here for Anatand at the front of the base. No real surprise there. And on the other side of the map, it looks like we're going to have the Meditation Gardens. Probably one of the worst Meditation Gardens you will see. This is a sad Meditation Gardens. Only the 2 resources, and that's painful because as the Meditation Gardens does have a pretty big radius around it. But you want to know the crazy part is that even with this sad Meditation Gardens, he's picking up, what do we got here? 48 food, 30 stone. That's 78 resources. He's picking up 3 more resources than the Mansa Quarry. And that's with the saddest Meditation Gardens you will see. So even the worst Meditation Gardens, the literal worst Meditation Gardens, is better than the Mansa Quarry. And I guess that goes to show the way that the power creep is happening. I don't know if power creep's the right term. I guess it probably is, right? Have a look at this. Some nice little... Have a look at this. What a deer push we got going on from Anatand early on. Absolute beauty. Have a look how tight he's able to keep these deer, and then as a result, able just to easily push them in. That is really well done. I am impressed by how well he's... How much of the map has he uncovered? Can we just quickly check? He's done a pretty decent job here. He's covered both sides. Over on the other side, though, we do now start to see that Song Dynasty coming through. It's going to be this Jiangnan Tower placed on the backside of the base. You're always got to be careful where you place this landmark down. It is quite big, and often you place it in empty, open space, and you want to be putting farms down. But he's got a lot of space over here towards this east side. So placing the farms down, he should be absolutely fine, because realistically, it comes down to which side he wants to anchor to. Because normally in this map, you will anchor towards a specific side. You will determine... okay, I'm going to be focusing on that south side, and then naturally you're going to come down, you're going to anchor, you're going to put all those farms down around on this little angle down here. But age up's now coming through. Not the fastest age up. A little bit of a delay there, 4 minutes 30 roughly. Song Dynasty should be pretty decent the timing here, but he's going to be working into a second TC as well. Plenty of villagers on the stone. He's worked his way up to a decent amount of wood as well, so this town center will be pretty quick coming out from him. He's going to need to get this Jiangnan Tower up ASAP though, but this timing is going to be very competitive. We might have to go back and watch the build order just to see how he did it, but I guess he is on deer though, so you're always going to be a little bit faster when you're on the deers. But now second pit mine going to be coming up. Song Dynasty is online. 5 minutes and 3 seconds. Where's that town center? Still going to be a little bit of time. Now, where does he opt for that second TC placement? I think you can probably just throw it down right next to the first one at the front. That's absolutely a fine option. Alternatively, you can look to bring it out on the map, but as the Chinese, you kind of want to keep everything closer. As the Juicy Legacy, you want to try and keep everything close, compact. He's got enough now to go for it. On the other side of the map, we now start to see cattle ranches being filled up. The cows, the cattle, they are on their way. And the pit mine, the passive gold generation is slowly building here for the Malians, and this is what they do best. But now that town center, where is he? Yep, so town center going to be thrown down here. And you can see that he leaves enough space here so that the lumber camp is still able to come down because he wants to supervise this lumber camp. You can't supervise the town center. You can supervise the lumber camp, which is going to give you that 20% extra resource drop-off. So really, really nice. Very important to be doing. And now rushing up this town center. Have a look at this. He's trying to get it up before the 6-minute mark. It's going to be close. He gets it on the dot. 6 minutes, not too bad. Hands in a whole bunch of resources and now begins to work towards an absolute mass of villages on this wood line. Have a look at this. 21 villages out here. What is his plan to do with all of this wood? Is he looking for a really early farm transition? Is that his mindset? It could be. We'll have to play on board with him in a little bit. Let's check in on the scout. The scout manages to spot. I mean, I guess he just expects it's going to be a passive game, right? He knows that he's up against the Malians. The Malians, while they can get early units out, the most common thing that we see from them is just a lot of passive resources and quite often a timing in the castle age, looking to try and get plenty of units out. And you can see that he's slowly building towards those high numbers of cattle. Has the second mill out, going to be producing it, pumping them out non-stop. You can see them coming to that backside of the cattle ranch, and that scout just going to be calling it out, just going to be seeing exactly what's going on. But now down to this south side, we've got the walls beginning to come up, which makes me think that you're going to have, if you've got walls on this side, you're probably going to be fighting on this side. That's further supported by the fact he's got his production on this side, which is kind of pointing in that direction. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do naturally see players begin to anchor towards this right side of the map, or this top right side of the map, this quadrant up here. Have a look at this already. A little bit of difference of opinions. Archery range and the barracks now going to be coming down for Wham, and it's on the south side here. So looking to anchor to the opposite side, and units already making their way out. He knows about the villages. Does he know about the villages? I think he might. The scout is up here. You can see it's just here. And he's going to try and come through. The spearman will be able to find it. You can see he's just automatically pathing over towards that pit mine. And now coming up. Upgrades also on the way. Wheelbarrow going to be coming through for Wham. Still plenty of villages out over on wood, but he's definitely dropped off a little bit. Walls coming in on that top side as well, and now that spearman is going to be able to find the villager, forcing it back. Might be able to pick up a villager kill here as well. Donzo is out. Donzo, never mind. He's fallen back from it. Realized, you know what? I don't want to deal with it. Does make sense. Now the wall is going to come up. A little bit of a gate here towards the opening. Make sure he keeps his apexes close. You know, you don't want to be walking all the way down here to the south just to go around that wall. You want to make sure you've got that gate up and does the right thing. Let's check in with him, though, and see how Anatan is doing. This is an important game between these two players. The walls continue to come up. Pit mine 100, far out, 140 gold a minute. That is pretty nice, isn't it? When you think about it, like that is kind of wild, dude. 140 gold coming through. Like, that's damn nice. Villager gets picked off. Wham going to be losing it. Bit of a awkward wall that he was going for. Instead of just walling across the wood lines and the resources, he kind of throws one out in that weird spot, but now under pressure from the top side. We've seen these players do a little bit of a switcheroo here. You've got almost like a clockwork motion coming in. Both of them attacking on their respective clockwire angle, I guess is probably the best way to call it. But Villager's going to be forced off the gold. Now, attention towards that pit mine and towards the houses that surround it. Plenty of units coming out. The javelin thrower's online as well. Yet to pick up that ranged armor. But his opponent yet to pick up that ranged attack. Villagers get hit a little bit there. The Donzo's dishing out a slight bit of damage. And do we start to see horsemen coming through from Wham? I wouldn't be surprised to see it. No, it looks like it's just going to be Jukunu. He's going to commit to 100% Jukunu with maybe 10%. Maybe sprinkle in a little bit of percentages of the spears for the moment. Only 3 of them at the moment, so it looks like about a 4-to-1 ratio. So not too bad here from him early on. Now, when we talk there's the stable. Okay, so no real surprise there for me. The stable's going to be really important because that's going to be able to keep those javelin throwers on their toes. If you don't have the stable, what's going to happen is those javelin throwers just going to be happy to stand, happy to fight, and that's going to cause a bit of concern for you because ideally you want them to be trying their best to kite, trying their best to be using all the APM that they can. But now those Zhukin are going to be moving back. It looks like he might be giving up on this side. Scout is still behind enemy lines. We'll spot out these forces on the way to the south side. Definitely makes it a little bit more troublesome, this map. I tell you what, it is, you know, I try and think of a solution to this. You know, could you possibly put a ramp down here into the center? You probably could, but then I guess it would make it very important fighting over control of the ramps. It just feels unforgiving, this map, and it's one of those awkward maps where, I don't know, I've played it before, and it does often feel like you're just kind of fighting down that single lane. But now those villagers are going to be moving out. Now players are doing the reverse. They're going counterclockwise now. So the Malian player is going to come around from the from that, what is it, about a 10 o'clock position, maybe a 10 o'clock position up there, 11 o'clock position. He's coming around down to the 6 o'clock at the moment, and his opponent from the 5 o'clock position has worked his way up to the 3 o'clock position. Very, very curious to see how they are reacting and overreacting. But now pushing through Anatant, we'll spot out there's plenty of production here. This is absolutely wild to watch now. Javelin throw is going to tee off. We'll find a villager kill. That's going to be 2 this game. He's managed to take out 14 villager lead at the moment for Wham. Could be 16, but you know what? He's still going to be pretty happy with this. He's got the 2 TCs. He's got his Song Dynasty, so he's got cheaper stuff. And now we start to see the granaries coming out. 6 vills, adding in the farms. A little bit of a push out coming through. Donzos on the front, going to be skewering them up. And the Zhukin are going to be trying their best to take out those Donzos. You can see they don't have enough damage yet to one-shot. So he's got to be careful about how he plays this. Anatan continuing to siege down the stables. Townsend offering a little bit of cover fire. Oh my lord, that Imperial official doing what it does best and almost dying. Zhukin now really trying to find a way through. You can see he's dishing out plenty of damage here to these Donzos. Behind the scenes, we do see the Scout has worked its way in on that villager up towards the top side. We've got a Wolf that's fighting up against the villagers there. But it looks like the mass is pretty decent here for Wham at this stage. The numbers are overwhelming. He has yet to pick up that plus... No, I take it back. He has picked up that +1 range attack. And now should be able to clean this up completely. The Horsemen are going to force the Donzos to come back, and immediately the Zhukin are going to be able to take out 2 of them, maybe 3 of them, indeed 3 of them. So gets himself a nice pick, doesn't manage to take out too many of those Horsemen, but as long as he maintains the massive javelins, he should be okay. He should be happy with that. Ranged armor on the way through. Both of these players picking up the ranged armor now. Early on in this game, 20 villager lead as the Grand Fulani Corral comes in. He's got every single cow to his name. I think there's a couple of them maybe underneath the town center, just in case, you know, you want to have a little bit of food trickling in all the time. It does make sense. And now comes back towards that gate. Zhukin numbers really starting to build here. Doesn't look like at any point Wham is really considering going up to the castle age. We'll switch it over to income just to get a bit of an idea on where these guys currently sit. Looks like about 2,100 here for Anatan compared to his opponent, who's sitting on slightly less, about 2k, but pretty close to it though. Very, very, very close to each other. Upgrades continuing to come through. Horticulture coming through for both of these players at the same time. He's continuing to eat this wood line on the front. You can see he's a little bit more active than his Malian opponent on pushing through this wood line. So perhaps that's part of his plan. Perhaps that's part of the play. He will look to maybe come up, get a stone wall down here on the other side so your opponent can't push through. It's always fun to do. All right, well, at this stage of the game, the economies have built strong for both of these players. No real victory coming out from either of them early on. I'd say it was a slight win earlier for Wham, but realistically, I don't think it's going to have a lasting impact on the outcome of this game. Market coming down as well, and have a look at this. Now this is what we talk about when we talk about that explosion, that volcano from the Malians. This is very common. Veterancy coming through on plenty of these units here, and he's going to start switching into Sofa. He's going to look for that imported armor. Really important to pick up that upgrade because it's going to enable you to just tank up absolutely everything. And now the upgrades come through. Montlu Academy on the other side of the map as well. Going to be going down. Where's he throwing it down? Over here. Food villages. He's using the food vills to age up, which is definitely the right call here. You always want to prioritize your food villages to build those age ups, just so that the gold villages constantly gathering up those resources. Wait, he's throwing down an outpost. He's throwing down an outpost. He knows he can't lose this gold, and he's got to wait for the upgrades to come through. Let's see what he goes for. He needs veterancy. He needs +2 ranged attack ASAP. There's the veterancy coming through. Does he switch the Imperial Official? He does. 20 seconds to go. But now that push is going to come to shove. The Donzos on the front line. They've already got their veterancy, and you can see he's rushing through the upgrades. Sprinkled in placement on the way here as well. Wham trying his best to get it through. With the veterancy online, it'll give him a little bit of extra health here, but still able to eat most of these units alive. And you can see now going to be turning his attention to the javelin throwers. The Donzo's going to start sieging down the farms, but they have no problem with that. These are very cheap, affordable farms, and a counterattack on that north side of the map now. Horsemen coming through. He's found a couple of villager kills, only the 2. But the Donzos forcing their way back. Now the sofas are coming through, and this is where it starts to get very dangerous for the Juicy Legacy. They need to make sure they're able to take these sofas out very quickly. There's no real response at the moment to the sofa, but once spears come out, then he should be fine. And now looking, he's going to have to chew through these back lines. The Donzos move forward. He's just looking to try and focus them out. We see spearmen, or rather horsemen in queue, spearmen, and a single palace guard as well, but still behind the enemy lines. Plenty more action over on this side. And it's kind of wild to me that we've got this kind of dual lane action here. And now with that timing attack, you can see that Anatan was really coming in for the kill. Isn't going to be finding it here. Isn't going to be finding it here. Spearman getting sniped out by the javelins. You can see just how much these Yukonu are struggling taking out the javelins. They've got that 6 ranged armor up against the 6 attack of his opponent. Means they're only taking 1 damage a shot, but still overwhelmed by the number of Yukonus. Truly the Zerg of the Juicy Empire, that is for sure. Town Center firing down a couple of Sofa Warriors, just running through the battle, running through the base rather. Another one coming through, going to cop a little bit more damage. No imported armor just yet for him. Let's check in with him on that top side of the map. We've got more pit mines coming down. Only 61 gold a minute coming through on that one, but still putting on the pressure. Second outpost now going to be coming down as well for him. Have a look at this sprinkled in placement on the way. I don't think this is his first one. I'm pretty sure we've got a second one out here. Did he siege it down? Did he make... I swear I heard a sprinkled in placement out here. Perhaps he did. Villager will get caught. Horseman going to be coming out to get it. Oh, never mind. The Sofa just manages to take it out before it goes the way of the Dodo as well. +2 ranged attack now coming through as well for Anatan. Looking to get a little bit more damage out from these javelins. But expect him to start switching into archers shortly. This is the most common thing that you see. Often they'll look to open up the Malian players with Donzos and Javelins, start switching in the Sofa, and then once the Sofa mass has begun to build, that's when you switch in to your archers and really look to try and push and finish with that. But now, archers getting picked off the top. Have a look at this. Just camping him from on top of the cliff. Javelins. You barely even see any arc in there. These guys have just got a really nice animation on that. Now behind the scenes, more Sofa Warriors coming through. A distinct lack of walls for this defensive position. You got to remember, when it comes to this map, you want to build your base like an onion. You've got that first layer of walls. You want to try and get that second layer down as well, somewhere a little bit closer to home, just to stop these inevitable raids that will come through, because they might break through the first line of defense. You've always got the second one to fall back on, and it means that you can avoid garrisoning your villages. But now, the Yukonu in the pocket. Beautiful little spot here. He's able to funnel in all of the units one by one. The Yukonu have got a perfect little concave, able to focus these units down over and over and over again. Javelin on the back are going to be able to take out the Yukonu, but we can just hear him rallying in more and more units. Horsemen looking to join the cause as well. Looks like a couple of spears will be able to deal with that last Sofa on that south side of the map, and now the Horsemen look to try and come through. Will he find us around? It doesn't look like it. There still are units continuing to trickle in, including that Donzo. Sofa's going to be able to find a couple of villager kills as well. Have a look at this. He's managed to work his way up to 15 worker kills so far. I think that's 16. It's going to continue building up here until we see those defensive walls come through. The Sofa are just going to keep on hitting. Really important to get those Sofa, or those walls up. They're just going to help you out a huge amount. Now we start to see the second layer of farms beginning to be built here for Wham. It's imperative that with this second layer of farms, he throws down a mill on the outside just to make sure that they've all got that more effective drop-off position. You don't want them walking all of this way. They've got that faster gather speed. You want to make sure you're not punishing them for having that faster gather speed. But now, another Sofa going to be trying to make its way through. You can see the significance and the importance of having walls up here to prevent this from happening. Or in this case, just sprinkled in placements. Nice little raid cleanup again. Wham's doing a wonderful job at this stage of the game of cleaning up the raids. He is having trouble though. He's lost 17 workers already this game. His opponent, he's managed to survive the hardest part. I think that was definitely the hardest part of the Malian game that he just faced. And now we start to see farms coming out for Anatan. Quite early for farms, especially when there's already resources that are out here on the map. that he could be looking to take. Check back in with Wham and see how he's doing. Siege Workshop now coming out. Nesta B's going to be opting for it. Definitely a smart move. Let's have a look and see what the unit comp is going to be coming out for Anatan. And it looks like it's going to be moving into Musofadi of all units. What has he seen to provoke Musofadi? There are Palace Guards. There are Lancers. But Musofadi definitely seem like it's going to be a difficult call. Maybe, is he thinking about getting them stealthed up? Is that potentially it? Does he know about the prospect of Siege coming out? You're definitely going to want something to deal with the Siege. You can go into Springolds. He's going into his own Mangonel anyway. Now those horsemen are going to be looking to chase away that Sofa. Third ring of farms will be added in here on the outside. You can see he's quite deep when it comes to these farms already. But the granary going to be offering an additional drop-off point. Hopefully we get a mill down here on the corner. You know I'm a stickler when it comes to the macro police. And if you'd like to have a little bit of education about macro, about the right things to do, the wrong things to do, make sure you check out the Patreon. Patreon's got plenty of content over there. Lots of free content as well now from all the previous seasons. If you'd like to get the new season, that one that is paid content. But lots of good coaching content over there. Can definitely help you out no matter what civilization you're looking to pick up. But let's check back in over on that side of Anatan and see how he's doing. Starting to build slowly here. Only the single Mangonel for the moment. Second one is rolling in. Nice little forward siege workshop. And once again, just still chasing down that Sofa. It's going to be the Lancer that follows it, and we'll be able to finally take it out. That wall maintains integrity for the moment, but he has broken through on this top side, and now we've got the numbers really significant here. Mangonel shot comes out. Keep in mind, there's a lot of infantry here, so you're fighting up against Mangonels. It will be powerful. It will be dangerous. Big shot down the hill. Oh, my lord. Look at the Mangonel shot. Absolute sublime shot right there. Spears now moving towards the front, and Wham's got to be careful. The Zhukanu in the back are definitely going to help him out. The problem's going to be those Mangonels, which once again continue to look to rain down as they make their way forward here. Nesta B's firing off towards the back. Sofa Warrior's looking to come around, and the Mangonel shot comes through. It's not looking good for the Juicy's legacy at this stage of the game. We hear another attack siren going off. He's fighting on the farmland, fighting into the reinforcements though, and the Springald will come out. It might be able to save the day. He may need to pull villagers here to get that repair off. Second shot from the Springald will hit that Mango. He'll be absolutely fine. Can look to fire on the Mango with the Springald emplacements, and he continues to kite back, walking towards those farms, and will find a little bit of solace here as the units continue to grind away at the Malian forces. Mangonel still firing, still holding for the moment. Somehow, some way, the Juicy legacy has stood its ground. I'm honest when I say I did not expect that. The numbers here were impressive. That was ludicrous, the amount of units that were out here. The Mangonel shot, when it connected, you saw how much damage it did just to those spears, right? And now, once again, another breakthrough going to be coming. A lot of damage was done on that top side of the map during this fight. Whammo 1 looking to try and put the nail in the coffin for the Malians. Look how many workers he lost during that fight. Look how many workers he lost. 40 workers in that fight. Majority of them farmers. Did go down. He took out a huge amount, a huge presence. And look at the difference between these economies. 71 versus 82. Only 11 now. He's lost 42 villages this game. And I can't help but feel it is largely just because of the lack of walls. You know, you guys know me. I am a waller. I love to wall. I like a wall. Sorry, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna. Don't worry. I'll stop. All right, villagers beginning to migrate over here. You can see he was over here on the. I'm pretty sure this was gold, even though I remember there only being stone over here. So I think he might be looking to migrate over to the other side, try and pick up some additional gold. In fact, we can check and see. Yeah, he's got 0 villagers on gold, lots of gold in the bank. Highly likely that was indeed gold. So now where does Wham go from here? Because one of the common things that we talk about when we're coaching Juicy Legacy is we don't want to make Zhukunu in the Castle Age because they fall off. They fall off a lot, and they're not population efficient. That's the big thing. So a lot of armor upgrades come through in the Castle Age. You've got things like your imported armor. You've got your, men-at-arms get extra armor as well. There's a lot of bonuses to armor in the Castle Age. So you want to typically avoid them, start switching into crossbows, and that's definitely the right call here. And we start to see that dream combination coming out. Spearman crossbow. The question's going to be about whether he can use the conversion tools available to him. And that's going to be the Springled. That's going to be the Nest of Bee. It's going to be important. It's going to be imperative. And once again, we can see just why just having a little bit of a wall up around your farms could have made a massive difference here. Now, once again, going to be forced to chase the Sofa Warriors through the base. Villagers have come through onto the other side, and it looks like the Mangonels have taken an issue with it. He took that personally, it seems. So has broken through here. Still a bit of a while before Anatan will make it through to the middle. But will unlock a second, or technically a third route to begin attacking his opponent. But just expect to see a little bit of a stone wall thrown up here just as a defensive mechanism. Now pushing out. He's got to make sure he's got those Springleds with him. Mango shots down. It's hard to see exactly where they're tracking because we're fighting on top of this mountain. And now continuing to push forward. It looks like for the most part, you can see just how much these sofas have managed to bait out. Like they've baited out 14 units back here. 5 sofas have done. So really efficient. But now, those Nest of Bees teeing off as well. Springled's looking for it. He's got 3 of them on the south side. We'll need to start increasing those numbers. And now we start to see Anatan on the Malians fighting his opponent. But the numbers are looking pretty damn decent at the moment for Wham playing as the Juicy Legacy. The crossbow's just holding. Springled's looking for a way through. Mangonel, not gonna happen. Not today, he says, as the Mangonel gets sniped out. The Nest of Bees still stands strong on this front end. The game gets called just there. He realizes, I can't do it. I think he might have called it early. I don't think he realized how many villagers he took out that game. There were a lot of villager kills that game, but nonetheless, he taps and he says, I can't do it anymore. Fellas, go check him out. EGC TV this weekend, 15 GMT. Check out the finals. It's happening this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.